Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from today, a rainy and wet Western Kentucky, and just like it is on the map, raining away. And we are going to continue our playthrough of Total War 3 Kingdoms, playing as Sun Jian. And boy, do we have a lot of potential activity going on right in front of us here. It looks like we have Sun Jian, who just had an army sitting here right in front of him that's a little bit depleted. Liu Ji just did battle with the Duchy of Zhang. Duchy of Zhang took the worst of it by far, but he did me a favor by weakening down Liu Ji, so I'm thinking we are going to move forward to attack there. We also have Sun Ce sitting down here, and it looks like he'll be able to reach this force over here. Gongsun Gong, another vassal, or another general of Yuan Shao, excuse me, not vassal. And then there's this wall thing in between them that looks like it will prevent, plus they're in forced march anyway, so I don't think they'd be able to reinforce. So we may have the ability to pick off a lone army over here. So we got our early game figured out. Just as a reminder, we also have battle with Kongzhou right in the middle of us. The big thing I feared has happened while we're busy elsewhere. Kongzhou has declared war actually on my vassal, but I could not abandon my vassal, so we went to war now with Kongzhou. I have two armies to deal with him, but it's going to take a while for them to close in on his main forces. So in the meantime over here, we're going to have Sun Ren work on taking over Guangling, the small city which Kongzhou recently took. And then Sun Quan will continue his move over towards the main forces of Kongzhou. Now, unfortunately, being all distracted elsewhere, there's a very good chance Kongzhou will take over some provinces north or to the south, and we're going to have to do some retaking, but I'm confident we'll be able to do that. It'll just hurt temporarily, and hopefully won't impact my income too drastically, which is a little bit on the meager side at the moment. So that's something we're going to have to be worrying about a little bit. We also have our Chengpu, trusty old Chengpu, who took over Fuling, the small city. It wasn't able to get reinforced in time, so we'll continue moving south against Jialong. And over here, oh, that's a big army of Jialong. So Jialong is a little more powerful than I thought. So we'll have to work gingerly to advance against him. Okay, that is the situation, and what we're going to do in the north is we are just going to go to battle to start off this playthrough. The first one we'll try is right here. He's backed up against the river after that battle with the Duchy of Zhang, and we will take Sun Jian himself over here to do battle. Now afterwards, he's gonna probably, very good chance he'll be able to be replenished over here. Of course, on forced march, maybe on regular march he won't this turn, but we also have forces on this side also that are gonna want to reinforce. But I think we're safe moving up for this battle, and I think if we're lucky, we'll avoid getting sandwiched, and if necessary after the battle, maybe we can retreat back a tiny bit towards the lumberyard just to put ourselves in better position. We'll see how it turns out. I'm assuming a lot. I'm assuming victory, but let's go on to battle here. And it's predicting decisive victory, fortunately, so maybe it's a little bit of a cakewalk. He's down by the river, just as we thought. So let's close on in against his weakened and depleted forces. General wise, Liu Ji. Oh, well, we got our good old Huang Gai, and I think with the newest update, which just hit me today or yesterday, unfortunately with an ongoing playthrough, I don't get I believe it's Huang Gai is one of those that gets a new profile pick. But since we're in the middle of the playthrough, I don't believe we're going to see that activated until I somehow start a new playthrough. So we aren't going to stop and start a new playthrough. We'll just have to deal with Huang Gai, the picture that we're used to for this playthrough. Then he's got two strategists. So We may send and see if Huang Gai can do some dueling with Lu Ji. That may be something that could be good for us to take on. Taking a look at Lu Ji, does he have any special amazing forces? Oh, he does have Tenacity of Steel, which I don't like to go up against, but we may give it a shot with Huang Gai, because he's always got his Binding Fury attack to counteract that. Let's get in there and start this battle. Okay, here we are. He's going to be down by the river, sitting in the trees, just kicking back. And here we are, ready to advance on him. We don't have any trebuchets to bombard with. I'm kind of thinking maybe we will put the archers in the front of this line as we advance. Just to change it up a little bit on the advance. We don't have a lot of special formations in this army, other than some, loose formations. So that's what we're looking at here. And I think I will keep all archers. Ooh, they're 10 strength, but at some point I do want to upgrade them to better levels so they can get promoted back up to level 10 as a better archer. We'll have to take a look at that, but at a level 10 archer, they have the ability to do some damage. So I think we're just going to kind of advance in this line to kind of get until we get a sense of where they are and how we want to react. We do have cavalry out on the flanks, so I think we're ready to react in this particular line and position. So let's start the battle and start the advance. I said, start the advance. Okay, they were a little stubborn there for a moment. Or perhaps their commander was standing backwards the wrong way, and they said, hey, turn around, turn around. Oh, sometimes my skills as the commander. Okay, we're waiting to see some activity. Let's speed up the advance till we get a view of where they might be. There we go. They're smack dab right in front of us. We'll just continue. Yeah, they're just standing right there smack dab in front of us. Do I see any archers? Do I see a lot of archers? It looks like crossbowmen is what they have available in their lines. With that in mind, I think I'm going to kind of shoot out my cavalry a little bit to try and be able to get around their flanks for as we close on. And once we get in range with our archers, okay, we aren't quite going to get in range, so let's do it this way. Who looks like they have the strength right here? And who else looks like they have a strength unit right there? We'll work on what appears to be, yes, their medium halberds to be their strongest melee infantry as we move everybody else forward now. We're doing a number on their medium halberds. Let's see if Huang Gai's in a position to do any duels. No, they don't want to duel today. So dueling is out of the question, but it doesn't mean we can't get some of our generals into the action. back off. We don't want our archers being the ones charging in. No, we don't want that. Okay, Sun Jian, can we get you in here doing a little power move against their forces in here? Lady Wu, we want to keep track of you. We don't want to lose sight of you. We already have generals of theirs falling. Get some spearmen against this cavalry. Sun Jian, let's get you doing another power move over here if we can. I said Sun Jian, not Huang Gai. But Huang Gai, since you're there, we'll have you do the same thing. Sun Jian, let's get you with your power move in there. And Lady Wu. Oh, we're just getting peppered and losing casualties here. Does never pay. Let's get back in the rear side of these guys. And let's take it to these crossbowmen here in the center that are holding out for us. And keep our cavalry pressing against his general. In fact, Lady Wu, you want to... Oh, his general fell. And it looks like they are very close to falling. And we have our victory. Okay, what we'll do is we're just going to do a little bit of chasing down just to try and deplete their forces, and at this point I will speed things up for us. Alright, it looks like we have chased them down as much as we can, and we did indeed come through with the decisive victory. So good experience from my team here, my forces. There we go. So with only 97 forces remaining, this army is very, very decimated, and hopefully no longer an immediate threat for us. 19 heroism to keep our meter strong. Let's see, he is stalwart, he is creative. Wow. He is spiteful, he is reckless, and he is relentless. That's kind of cool features here for this guy, Lu Ji. I'm almost tempted to try to hire him and see what kind of mix he brings. Kind of thinking that way. I actually kind of like his some of his traits here. Let's see if we can't employ this guy, and we will immediately banish him or whatever, or release him if he's not a good mix with my fellow nobles. But I think I'm going to try. The rest of these, I am not in dire need of these guys, so I think we're just going to release the strategists, and we'll release the other strategists. And it doesn't look like we took a lot of casualties, so I'm once again going to go for income here, just because I am worried to death about losing a few territories that could impact my income, so I would like to build up a little bit on income.
这已经足够了。我来打头阵。
Like the wind, not satisfied with winning the battle, our general overtakes the retreating enemy troops and lays a successful ambush, further reducing the numbers that can stand against us. Awesome. Bonus experience for Huang Gai, 966. And it looks like we have some promotions going on down here, so we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So thank you, Huang Gai, for chasing them down. I'm kind of cool with that. There is no more standing army here in the center. I kind of like that. Why don't we at the moment retreat? And I don't know if we retreat to the forest right here. If we'll have enough movement left to kind of put ourselves in ambush, but we can always hope. Yeah, we'll just stand here in ambush stance and still be able to replenish a little bit, just in case they may come a wandering towards us. Let's take a look here. We have characters gained rank. Huang Gai is one of those. We have Like the Wind we know about. We have some traits gained. Jian picked up the Stalwart trait. I kind of like that one. Plus 5% income from all sources as our leader. That is something that will come in handy, I do believe, because we need increased income. So 5% increase from all sources. Good timing on that. Rivals, oh, of course. Rivals, of course. Rivalries, oh, Gongsheng Zan now. We aren't quite at war with him yet, I don't believe, but I have a feeling his entering the war against us is only a matter of time. And relationship loss, Zhang Yan. Oh well, that's their problem. Okay. Now, why don't we first take a look at our promotions, and we're looking at Huang Gai up here as one of them. I thought it said we had two. Oh, we do have one. Court Noble Lu Ji. Oh, was he injured in the battle? That's not good. I hadn't noticed that. Oh, that's the guy I hired. Yeah. That's the guy I hired. And he actually comes in satisfied for the moment. That's kind of cool. Spared and employed, faction fund. So he's actually, for once, that looks like a cool hire, and it kind of worked out, and I might be able to get some use out of this guy. So that's good. He is going to be injured for a turn, but let's see what kind of promotion we can get for him. We have intuition, which increases his expertise, and if I use him temporarily administering a commandery, he increases our industry, so that's possible. I don't know that he's a guy with a lot of archers in his retinue. Perception increases his authority, so I have some authority. I might as well do the one that dovetails with his expertise, and he may at some point become an administrator, and that would help my industry. That would be a nice buff for him. What does it unlock here? Tempered deflection, which actually is nice. Range block chance. That's not a bad promotion down the road to be able to unlock also. So let's go with intuition. We'll start there. Oh, I do like zeal down over here, which would be a reason to go for authority or perception to increase my authority and ignore forest penalties. Or let's see, unlocks industrial exploitation is a nice way, or would be a reason to go here to get over to this corner, especially if he ends up being used initially as an administrator. So I got choices, and valid reasons to go with a lot of them, but we're going to go for the immediate increase in expertise right here. And there we go. Now let's get back up to Huang Gai. Huang Wild and Crazy Guy, and let's see how we can help you out by promoting you. Our Earthen Rampart, charge resistance. Oh, how awesome is that one? We have flexibility, and this is only if you're commanding. It increases replenishment or redeployment costs only if you're the prime minister, heir, or faction leader. So that maybe someday you'll be my prime minister, but we'll see if we can get kind of like an earthen rampart right off the bat. Guile, enable, well, we wouldn't be bad enabling guerrilla deployment. That's kind of cool also. Evading capture. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have some seemingly very good choices here. I'm leaning toward, yeah, it'll increase his health too. So I'm leaning towards Earthen Rampart to start. And what else does that unlock? Reinforcement range and courage. Yeah, I think we're going to go here to unlock. I kind of like guerrilla deployment though. But we're going to go with Earthen Rampart as the next promotion. Always looking for input, so if you think a better promotion would have been something else, I'd love to hear some feedback from any of you on that. Feel free to make a comment and let me know what you think I should have done if you ever disagree with me. There is no one perfect way to play this game, and any extra comments I can get to help me out and think of possible new ways to do it next time, I sure do appreciate. And while you're at it, click that little icon down the corner and subscribe to this channel so you can continue to see all the extra episodes we get. Okay, enough salesmanship. Let's get moving, Sun Ce, and see. I think we can reach this army, Gongsheng Gong over here, and we're prime. Set up in a great way to do some more damage to Yuan Shao. Yes, it is another decisive victory, but I'm having too much fun taking it to Yuan Shao, who's made the mistake of going after me, and I want to make him pay the price. And I want to do that in hands-on fashion. Plus, it is a heavily forested map, and I definitely lead practice on these heavily forested maps. So we're going to jump in here on this one, despite the decisive victory prediction that we got, just so I can get some practice on these kinds of maps. So let's jump on in. Okay, heavily forested yet. Fair amount of open spots. We do have vision of where they're setting up. What kind of range do we have with our trebuchets? We actually have them within range as we sit right now. So I have a feeling I'll just keep my trebuchets happy and set where they are. In fact, let's just do the little game with the archers, or the archers. There is one horse archer, but we're gonna go. In fact, I have two horse archers, both on either wing. So why don't we group them first of all? Oh geez, I said group them over here on the wing, see if we can keep them hidden. And we do have them hidden on the flank. Why don't we, and do we see any archers over here? I'm sure he does have them in the back. And I think, what kind of forested cover do we have on this side? We'll just set our other guys, our other cavalry, not necessarily hidden, but we're going to send them over on the wing. Whoops. Set them on the wing over here. And everybody else, since we're going to be bombarding them, we will set as we are, wait for them to come to us. I don't see why not. We have the circle formation available, and we can set everybody we do have here to shield wall. It's a nice perk since we are trying to draw them to us. And then with our other forces over here, there is no extra formation available. The only thing we'll do is we will set one of the halberds over on this wing too, just in case they decide to do that flank the cavalry move on us. Okay, I think we are set with our forces. We'll put one of the archers on this side, and we will start the battle, allowing our trebuchets to bombard, forcing them possibly to charge in on us. We'll find out. Let's just mess with their morale and change that to flaming shot too on both these guys. They're spreading their forces out, so they aren't going to do any kind of major charge yet at this point, unless they charge in spread formation to minimize their casualties. With that in mind, we are going to bring our cavalry forward over here. Setting some trees afire. We're going to set the forest ablaze here. I've not seen that happen, but it looks like it is a possibility. How kind of cool is that? We're going to bring our archers over here off to the side and see if we can't pelter this guy on the wings. Start bringing our cavalry a little farther in to play around with those archers in the back. Yeah, and in this game, anytime you can entice or find a way to get their forces to advance on you and let you hold the defensive position is when you are going to have success. And that's the one nice thing about trebuchets, is especially if the other force does not have them, it kind of makes them have to charge you. There we go against that cavalry. I mean, the archers in the back will take them out of the picture. But at the same time, we got to watch out for their forces that are going to come back to try and support them. Come on, guys, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Do any kind of duel? Anybody up for a duel? No, they don't want a duel. They know we're better. My horse archers able to still pepper them over here. Their archers are now able to fire back. I can't close in enough. I'm nervous. I don't like that halberd over here. Can my melee cavalry get in there to help disrupt a little bit? Oh, I don't like my cavalry in there as I'm bombarding with my trebuchets, but we did a number on saber militia there. Let's get them back out and get them protected. And I think we want to get my horse archers out of there. Didn't realize some halberds had closed in on them. As a matter of fact, we will get them focused on shooting against them. There we go. Eliminate that threat. And we got their archers going down. We got them all going down. This has been a very distant battle for us, which is one way to make them successful. And we have our victory. Minimal casualties. Ended up not being as heavily forested as I thought. There's plenty of open ground, so this was a little bit of an easy battle. But every now and then an easy battle is nice, isn't it? Okay, and we can definitely take our forces off. We don't want them to fire anymore. And let's just chase them down. Make sure they don't bother us again. Okay, we came through with a decisive victory. That was pretty obvious as we were playing. We were able to do all the damage at a distance without them being able to do a lot of damage to us. Okay, we gained some valuable coin that we are much needing. And once again, a little bit more heroism. I think we're still at the top of the chart on heroism, so that's good, helping out our popularity, you name it. Everything that the heroism helps us out with makes everybody happy. Let's just release for income. He's not really a threat to me, and he is really maimed up. He's also got some kind of cool categories down here, but we're just going to release him for the income. Lai Tong, that stubborn guy, we're also going to release him also. He ended up not being a huge threat. I don't need to employ that many more at the moment, I don't think. And once again, without a lot of high casualties, I'm going to go for the income and the ransom because I need to build up that treasury, because I have a feeling we're going to get some negative pushes against it coming up. Let's see, Sensei. Let's kind of move you. I don't know how far over does this wall go. So let's have you move over what little remaining movement you have. Move over towards this direction. Oh, I guess that's too thick of a forest to even move into. So let's get you going around the super thick forest here. There's no entry into that forest. All right, I'm not really going to look at building up anything at this point, I don't think. Let's just take that back. Let's take a quick look over here. We are a small regional city, so I do have buildings that are able to be used now and upgraded. The mercenary barracks increases my income also. It's not super expensive. We have the ability to build a silk trading post. Let's look at this line here. We have the ability to go here. On this one, I need to... I need another reform over here for this one. 150 income from commerce, 30 trade influence. This one's not bad though, right here. Now that I apparently have access to silk. 150 income from commerce, 50 trade influence. It unlocks the resource of... I finally would get my entrepreneurs with this one. I do believe entrepreneurs would not be bad to unlock right now. So as much as this, but I can't right now because I need the reform of economic stimulation to build that one. So I think what I can do is let's go ahead and build the Silk Expedition, and then I should hopefully be able to just convert once I have that requirement made. Let's take a look and see how far away that requirement is. I can't even access it quite yet because I got to get up there. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead. It's going to take a while before I'd be able to unlock that anyway. So I think we're going to go ahead in Changsha, even though I said I need to keep that money in reserve, but it doesn't hurt to build up in a city that I'm not going to lose to help my income that way also. So I think that's what we'll do and build the Silk Expedition trading post. Now, no more building. I'm tempted, but no more building. We can take a quick look and just see. We have some Onyx Dragons available. That is tempting as an upgrade. Let's just take a look at the forces we'll be up against. Once again, I say I gotta hold money. I gotta hold money for losing some territories in the south down here from Gwangju, because I know that's gonna happen. Because I don't have enough forces super nearby yet. But let's see what Yuan Shao's army down here looks like moving in. Actually, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't need to do. I don't feel pressured to do the upgrade quite yet. And what are we looking at for this force here? As far as quality of units, yeah, okay. Other than some more of these medium halberd infantry, which have been a challenge to me at times, as long as I have my archers focus on them, everybody else I seem to be able to handle them. So I'm going to hold off on the upgrades right now because the forces I'm going against don't seem to need it. I think everybody else has pretty much moved their limit. Yeah, I'm keeping them only up to the border. In fact, though, this is my land here, so I can afford to move you as far as we can along the road there and still be able to replenish. You, Sun Ren, we're stopping right there, and then next turn we're going to start making our advance probably towards a small city. Even though you're weakened over here, you should be able to take out a city, right? Do we have the ability for fire arrows with this guy? Because if otherwise we need to do a long siege, I may have to hold back. So do we have the ability of fire arrows? That is Mami D. Let's take a quick look before I commit to a course of action. So we don't have flaming arrows available. So that means I'd have to do a siege of at least one turn for a battering ram or 2 turns to be able to sap in there. I may just do the 1-turn battering ram, try and force it that way. But that's going to make it a tougher battle for Sun Ren to go against that city. It would have been a lot easier if I had been able to move Sun Quan up there. So we shall see on that. I may decide to hook Sun Quan up north, bring Sun Ren down south on that trek so she can replenish as she goes. Of course, that'll slow up my move towards the enemy over here, the new enemy Gwangju. Now, as far as trade opportunities, do I have any new trade opportunities? I have 2 available, but I don't know if I have anybody I have access to trade with. Absolutely not. I'm either at war with those I can trade with, or I don't have a route available to them. So that's not good. That's why I'm taking a hit on my per turn income right now, is not being able to trade with everybody possible. If something should open up, I'll have to keep my eyes on that. And then down here, just to remind me, yes, I need lots of reminders, folks. I need lots of reminders. Oh, I think we've used our movement here. Okay, I think we're set to see what the next turn brings. Let's kind of keep our eyes up here in the fray. I have a feeling Gwangju may be making a move against us, but let's see what develops on this next turn. Who is it that has moved right next to Sun Jian? I didn't quite notice that with all that was going on there real quick. But he did it in forced march fashion, and that's kind of a cool time to go against somebody when they're in... Oh, he is going to move against one of my cities up here is what it looks like. Wow. So that's a little reverse move down there. So my income is back up to 427 per turn. That's good. Gongsun signed a peace treaty with Kong Rong, probably setting himself up to go to war with me, I would think. We'll find out. And we are now friends, Sun Quan and Sun Ce. We got a lot of new characters moving through the area. Lu Ji is now in our fold. He must be healed up, so he's ready to join us. And boy, we have a ton of strategists moving through. And that's why our income has gone up. We finished a grain estates, a city in Lujiang City, and the grain silo in Badong. Now I think we need to look at Badong. I think if I get up to the next level, is that the commandery, or was that the level I needed to get up to? So let's go over to Badong. I seem there's something nagging in my mind. Okay, we do. This is the level we need to get up to. It unlocks a new reform. Seems like somewhere along here I needed to upgrade at some point. Oh, because it unlocks a new reform. That then unlocks the soldiers I want to go to, I want to use. So yeah, that is the building I need to build. Because then it unlocks my access to medium halberd. So yes, okay, I had to refresh my memory on what I was doing here and what it unlocked and what it did for me. So yes, we're definitely going to increase that building in Badong. It's not going to be super expensive to do that. But, oh my goodness, I need to be a small regional city before I can unlock that. Oh, how much is it going to cost me to get there? That's a big chunk of my money. I'm hesitant to do that right away. Let's take a look and see where Kangzhou, if we have visibility on him. It doesn't look like he's made any kind of movement against any of my cities down here yet. I'm shocked and surprised. Not upset, but I'm shocked and surprised. Sunren, can you make it to Guangling, the city? Doesn't look like you can quite make it in one turn. Look at you, just get out to the doorstep. Well, with that in mind, why don't I bring Sun Quan over here? Since you can't make it this turn anyway, we'll do that little swap move. We'll keep him replenishing. He's almost a full replenishment anyway. And Sun Ren, we will bring you down this way to the south so you can continue to replenish your very, very weak force. And then next turn, it is autumn, it would be a winter offensive. Next turn, hopefully Sun Quan can reach Guanling, the small city, before it maybe gets reinforced and makes it a tough battle. I don't know. Kangzhou is staying hidden from my vision. I cannot see him. I cannot see him. I don't know what he's up to. I don't know where he is going to move. Okay, what have we got here? We have, oh, that's Liu Bai's army that moved in next to me in a forced march. Don't you be playing any games with me, Liu Bai. I think we're still nicey-nicey. I don't think we are angry with each other. We still got our attitudes as green to each other, so don't you be surprising me on any of this. The other thing we got to look at is he sieging over here? I think I need to see if I can move up here and help my vassal. Do we have the ability to reach this turn? That may be what my move is initially, is to help relieve the pressure on the my vassal over here. Let's get you back to normal stance. Yes, you would be able to reach them. And who is this force up here? Zhengjiang. Now, what I may look at doing, let's get Sun Ce. Well, we'll just get him here over to the road since that's as far as he can really move. I'm thinking he's kind of here. If we may need help reinforcing, how good is his stack? Now, we may have a reinforced from the city if I'm helping break that siege. Let's see how this dynamic works. Sun Jian, let's get over here. Break this siege, help our vassal, and he retreats right in between all these forces. And I think Sun Jian, let's get you. I don't know that Sun Jian, I don't know that you will be able to reach him with the movement you have left. No. But let's get you up, and this guy is sandwiched. He is in a tight spot between us. Of course, he can go against one and he can go against the other. Sun Ce will not be able to be reinforced, but hopefully I think Sun Ce can handle this force and hold up against him, so I'm not too concerned. So we got him in a little tight spot over here. Hopefully Liu Bai stays cool over here and he's not coming down as a threat. He's force marching somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is. And Yuan Shao's forces retreated back over here. He did not come towards me at all. So he looks like he's retreating to his trade port over here. And Duchy of Zong is going to be moving against him, trying to pick up that port, probably get there before I have a chance. What I may then do is move on Yuan Shao's small regional city here with both my forces here, if I can take care of this army in good fashion of his right here. One more thing to worry about this turn, and that is way down here. Way down here. We have to figure out what we want to do with Chengpu. Now we have him moving up the river is what I noticed. Looking like he may want to make a move against Badong the iron mine. That's kind of what it looks like. What kind of defenses do I have in the iron mine? Not stellar. It's a tight little map, so the question becomes, do I move down against his main force down below? Do I take the move with Chengpu down the river to try and locate and see where his main force is? He does have an army up above, but that would appear to be a minor threat compared to the army down below. So let's take a move down below. Let's see how far we can go and see if we can get some sight on his force moving up the river. Okay, so they're on the other side of the river is where they are. They did not, and he's in force march fashion. So I think that's the force I got to be giving my full attentions to at this time and keep track of. I think we can manage and match up to his force. It might behoove me to add a trebuchet along the way. I think I have enough melee forces, that's for daggone sure. Might be good to convert out to... what kind of forces are we looking at here? Yeah, trebuchet would definitely allow me to outreach him. So do I need to tailor my forces? He has a fair amount of cavalry down, or archers, so it wouldn't hurt me to have some cavalry also to be able to maneuver against his archers. So who is most likely to do best for me with the cavalry? No, that's not what I don't want to swap that out. Oh, let's get on the actual unit here. Let's see if we're able to swap units. We do have cavalry available, which I'm thinking we have the melee troops in force and mass, so I think it's time to get some cavalry going over here. So let's convert this axeman and this other axeman to some cavalry. And I'm leaning towards these two as some flanking cavalry. Yes. What would be better for us? I have the mercenary cavalry and I have the mounted lancer. Definitely cheaper upkeep and cheaper cost. Yeah, I'm not going to afford the mercenary right now. So let's just go with these guys. They'll be fairly well replenished. Since we're just doing a swap, and one more over here, swap out, and then let's replace these guys with trebuchets if we can. And I like the balance of my force over here now just a little better. I like it just a little better. Okay. That is it over there. Badong, I don't have enough money to upgrade you, and my income is now meager and measly again. We gotta hope Kongzhou doesn't decide to take one of my provinces and hurt that income before I'm ready. But let's move ahead and take one more turn here at least and see what develops. Where does Yuan Ji move to now? That's a big question. That's a big question. Let's take this next turn and see what develops. Liu Bai, you just keep on moving. Ooh, what do we got coming down on that side? Okay, he's definitely retreating, in full retreat now. So we've kind of ended that northern threat. Perhaps now we turn to the offensive in the north against Yuan Shao. We have a noble birth, Sun Ce. It's a daughter, a new joyous occasion for Sun Ce. And the finest armor, we get a new suit of armor from our armory. We'll see if that's any good. And the noble birth, let's take a look at our family tree. We just haven't peeked in there in a, well, not diplomacy guy. Let's take a look. We haven't taken a look at our family tree in a while. So that is Sun Ce. We got him married and now he's having himself some babies. It's not all on Sun Quan anymore. Speaking of which, now the children of Sun Quan are still quite young, so they are not going to be available anytime soon. Okay, what do we need to do here? What have we got here? Zheng Zhang, she's moving through. Liu Bai is moving through. He's retreating on the river. I don't think a river battle is in our best interest right now. This is owned by Liu Bai. Now, do we have military? He's moving through my lands. I would guess that we lost a rivalry against Zhao Yun. So we no longer are considered a rivalry there. Okay, fine. Our armor is proficiency scale mail, +9 expertise, 36 armor base. So it's not an amazing piece of armor. But let's take a look at any of our guys that might. I don't think Cheng Pu would benefit from it, but we'll take a look. No, I take that back. Maybe he can benefit. That's 36 armor base compared to his 28 armor base that he has now. It definitely helps his expertise in bigger fashion. It loses some authority for him, but that is not his area of strength. So Cheng Pu, let's make you a little bit stronger. There we go. So we were able to put that armor to use. Now we also have some followers now. We have a new eavesdropper, so someone who might benefit from some authority. Sun Quan. That enables a loose formation. I almost like that better because its eavesdropper doesn't give you much authority. Let's see, Lady Wu, do you have anybody where this might help out? We have devious attendant. Not a huge difference there. And Qiu Shangping, do we have a better match here? Not really. And Lun Song, what do we have down here? It actually comes to be maybe a better fit for you ultimately, but we would lose the benefit of, well, that's trade in +5 trade influences only, but you have a better assignment with surplus markets. So I'm thinking that's still a better fit since you're being used down here. So we're just going to hold on to our eavesdropper at the moment until we get a better fit or better use. Or maybe we just take Liu Ji, see what he has, and at least just so he's being used, let's just at least lock him in with someone at the moment. Okay. Now we got to figure out how we want to move in the north. And I was going to check real quick. I want to check with our negotiation. Let's check in with Liu Bai and see what our... So we do have a military access agreement, so I can move across his lands. That is good to know because Yuan Shao is just to the north of us here. That's Gongshengzhan, but it's a small regional city, so it could be a tough little battle. Plus he's got a full big army right there. Wow, wow, wow. Let's get ourselves, I think, moving up towards the river and up towards Hennai. Let's see, zooming in I can see the road just a little bit better. And that looks like a coastal city there. He's definitely got armies around here en masse, en force. So let's get Sensei, let's get you up to the river. And next turn perhaps cross if we're lucky, although he'll probably be able to sail past me. I was going to say if we're lucky, then we can look at do I look at pushing forward, and it'll do a world of hurt to me though, because we don't have a great advantage or any kind of, the balance of power is not greatly different there. So let's just move on the rear end. So if he's going to be moving upriver, hopefully it's not too far. We can get him sandwiched between Sun Ce and Sun Jian. Maybe. Who knows how this will play out and where he's going to move, but we'll park ourselves right up on the river. We aren't hugely depleted, so we can afford not having replenishment this turn, I think. And who do we have in the south? Well, let's just zoom out so I don't get myself lost again. I went too far south, didn't I? I should have gone more to the east, directly to the east. Let me get back to true north again so I get a better sense. So I can siege the city right away. I have trebuchets and I can move against it right away. And it looks like the balance of power is way in my favor. So let's see if we can make the first hit against Hangzhou for going to war with me. It's a close victory. And I have a feeling... No, that doesn't change anything in any kind of way. I think what we'll do is just to give us better access and hopefully put it a little more in my favor. Let's take one turn. I don't think that's going to kill us. Continue the siege. And see if we can't change those odds, those predicted odds, even though it shows we're going to win, but hopefully we can get better winning odds next turn. So now we got... Sun Ren moving down to start making a move. Once we get past Liu Bai's territory, then we'll start hitting or getting close to Kang Zhao's lands over here. So let's take one more peek now out in the west. Yeah, I think I got to zoom around, zoom out when I move, because I tend to miss the fact when I try to stay close in. What have we got going on here? Oh, that is one of the forces against us. So he is coming against us. Jialong is moving back. I'm wondering if Liu Zhang is feeling happy with us to make peace, so I can keep my focus over on this side against Jialong, since I only have one army over here. I think it's time to take a look at Liu Zhang and see. Let's just check at least. And it doesn't look like he's anybody's vassal, any of that kind of thing. What would it take? What would it take to make peace? Oh, Liu Zhang, absolutely not. So he is the only one that is not looking happy about making peace. Jialong, kind of twisted around the other way then. What kind of deal would we what would it take? Not much. I got your one city, but you're still looking or feeling good about making peace with me. Either way, I'm looking to balance the odds against me, against my one single stack that's kind of soloing it over here. I don't really have the per turn income to build another army at this point, especially since I could lose some temporarily. So I think what we're going to do is I will, since it's not going to be a very expensive deal, I will look Oh, we would have the trade agreement to get back again if we made peace with him. So all of a sudden, more and more and more, I'm looking to make this deal. And we have the old suit of armor that I just ditched. Probably will go well in trade. It's not a great piece of armor, so let's confirm that, and it puts it in our favor right off the bat. So let's just do it. I'm at plus 0.8. I'm probably not going to get much money out of it anyway. So let's just propose this deal. Be at peace with Jian. At this point, it frees me up to be able to deal with Liu Zhang over here. I do have someone's forces in the middle. Oh, Jian, his capital is down there now too, across the river. So maybe what we can do is turn the tables really fast, is make peace with Jian, be able to defend my area, get a military access agreement, and then boom, Liu Zhang all of a sudden is vulnerable over here. So maybe that's a play to make happen. Let's see. We are at peace. I then want to move right into trying to trade. Can I trade yet this turn? Where's trade? Trade. Against Jian. Now that we're at peace, we can negotiate again. Let's negotiate our deal. Well, you're not happy about making trade with me. I would have to pay you for this trade agreement, but this trade agreement would get me 861 per turn. So how much do I want to look at giving you? Do I have any other kind of measly ancillaries that I'm not upset to trade? Not really, but I can take the follower away from one of my characters. So let's cancel this. Let's cancel this at the moment. Let's go back in here. And Liu Ji, we have this follower, the eavesdropper, that we don't really need. And then we can go back into seeing about making a trade again with Jian. It's not a great trade in my deal if I have to end up paying too much, but I sure wouldn't mind that per turn income that it would give me. I would pay 2,000 right up front. Oh, he would want me to trade a territory and give me money. Now let's see if we can't make it work in a different way. How will this ancillary appeal to you? Still expensive, still expensive. I can offer some food. How open to you are you to food? I'm fine doing some food. And then we can also make a little bit of a payment because this trade deal is going to get me money. So let's look at the trade agreement for money. How much would I have to fork out to make this work? Okay, I'm going to propose this deal for trade. I'm paying out 226, but in 3 turns I make that back in trade value as long as this trade upholds. I am giving up a fair amount of food for 10 turns. 11 out of how much possible? 11 out of almost 30, so I'm giving up 1/3 of my food, but I think I can afford that. So that's fine. Let's propose this deal just to get that trade going and my cash flow increased. And as I said, that now allows me to focus in on Liu Zhang, defend my iron mine or whatever territories he might be going against, and then try and turn the tables with some military access with Jian and hit right at Liu Zhang directly. I think that's the last thing he will have been expecting. And looking at time, guys, I think it's time to wrap this one up here. Let's call it a day. Let's think about where we are and what we want to do for sure going forward. This is ZigZagZog signing off from Western Kentucky. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you have any ideas or comments for future episodes on where we need to head, what we need to do, please drop me a line, drop me a comment. And once again, I always appreciate your watching. Thank you.